Garbage. It is everywhere. On sidewalks, in vacant lots, floating down rivers, and choking the seas. We pass by it daily. Sometimes we stop to notice. Most of the time we don't. But it grows, and it waits. Each new day begins with promise. A chance to move, to work, to live. But hidden beneath the rhythm of daily life is a problem we can no longer ignore. A problem of our own making. In 2022, the country generated a total of 252,758.67 tons of hazardous waste. Among the types of generated hazardous waste, oil contributed the largest amount of 71,958.19 tons, or equivalent to 28.5%. This was followed by miscellaneous wastes such as pathological or infectious wastes, pharmaceuticals and drugs, pesticides, and waste electrical and electronic equipment with 40,344.33 tons or 16% contribution in 2022. On the other hand, organic chemicals contributed the least with 203.95 tons or 0.1% share. The total hazardous waste treated in 2022 reached 247,010.66 tons. Landfills grow taller. Oceans grow dirtier. Wildlife suffers. And we continue to live as though there's an away where all our garbages goes. But there's no away. There's only here, our home. Every wrapper tossed without thought, every bag that escapes the wind, every bottle left behind becomes a part of a bigger issue. The problem isn't just garbage, it's how we deal with it, or how we don't. Burning garbage may seem like a solution, but it only replaces visible waste with invisible poison. Smoke that pollutes the air, toxins that enter our lungs, our soil, and our future. But not all is lost. In the face of growing pollution, there is also growing action. There are people who choose to care, who pick up, who recycle, who educate, who fight for a cleaner future, one small act at a time. In some towns, barangay leaders and volunteers lead cleanup drives. In schools, children learn the value of proper segregation. In homes, mothers and fathers start asking, how can we throw away less? Solutions are not magic. They're simple. Segregate, reuse, compost, recycle, refuse what we don't need, reduce what we use, and most importantly, educate.
The Philippines generates at least 61 million metric tons of waste daily, 24% of which is plastic waste, according to Environment Secretary Maria Antonia Yulo Loizaga. Loizaga added that 70% of material value plastics is lost to the Philippine economy each year, equivalent to value loss of $790 million to $890 million per year. The partnership between the DENR and the UNDP aims to ensure full compliance of industries with the Extended Producer Responsibility Act of 2022 or Republic Act 11898. Loizaga noted that the country produces 163 million plastic sachet packets, 48 million shopping bags, and 45 million thin film bags daily. She added that 33% are disposed of in landfills and dump sites, while 35% are leaked into the open environment and oceans.
The Philippines, as recent data shows, is responsible for over 1/3 of the world's ocean plastic waste. 7 out of the top 10 rivers that contribute to ocean plastic pollution are in the Philippines. I was shocked to find out that the top plastic emitting river in the world is the Pasig River.
It has been decades since efforts to revive Pasig River began.
Environmental pollution contributed to the deaths of about 9 million people in 2015.
By some to be a global crisis, the overabundance of plastics filling the oceans and landfills.
So I'm currently at the supermarket. Let's see what I can actually buy that doesn't have single-use plastic packaging. I have my reusable bag with me, but I don't feel that's gonna do a lot of good.
Plastic is something we can't really live without. It's light, it's durable, and it's handy. Plastic is forever, and not in the good sense. Whether we're aware of it or not, the amount of plastic we're throwing away is slowly choking us to death. It's killing our oceans, getting into our food, and even in the air that we breathe. At the end of the day, everything we throw away eventually goes somewhere, and that's where the problem begins. This is how much plastic waste I can generate by just eating a few snacks and pieces of fruit. I'm not gonna stand here and be a hypocrite. I'm definitely part of the problem. So how can we be part of the solution? As the world's most populous region, Asia accounts for more than 81% of global plastic inputs to the ocean, which is why 10 Asian rivers top that pollution list. But what does that actually tell us?
What we don't realize is that our rivers serve as a parang highway yan for marine litter or yung basura that end up in the ocean. So for us, it's been said that the Pasig River is probably our like EDSA or our SLEX to marine litter. And this is important to think about and understand because the waste mainly comes from Metro Manila. To me, this presents more opportunity for Metro Manila to lead in solving the waste management problem of the Philippines.
The Philippine population recently peaked over at 111 million, and with it, the waste we generate. With socioeconomic issues, a lack of infrastructure and facilities to process our waste, we are facing a waste management crisis.
The amount of wastes that are being centrally collected is very small. From that study, we estimated it to be around just 40% is being collected. So 60% you're just leaving it up to the barangays, to the citizens on how to manage their waste.
So that was it, the pickup for the week. I just have no idea where that trash goes.
In the global setting, the journey of plastic waste starts with fossil fuels, which we are heavily dependent on for electricity and transportation. These are extracted and turned into plastic, producing more plastic than we can actually use. It's then pushed for consumption and ends up in countries like ours, where we are not equipped to deal with it. Globally, 32% ends up in the environment, 40% goes up to a landfill for future generations to deal with, and 14% is incinerated. In the Philippines, we have had a law in place for the last 20 years, the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act. Yet only a fraction of cities and municipalities, actually only 100 out of 1,488 in the country, are able to practice waste segregation and composting. Because of this, most of our household waste goes to landfills, which are only supposed to be for residuals, and in our rivers and sewers, clogging them in the process and causing floods. Some municipalities spend billions of taxpayers' money annually just to send their waste to landfills so that they don't have to deal with it right now. On the other hand, some communities in Malabon and Navotas, for example, follow proper waste sorting and are able to send their organic waste to composting facilities. Others, like Cavite City, have been processing their waste into methane and even using it as fuel for cooking. Recyclables, though, which make up the smallest percentage of our waste, have little chance of being given a new life with the lack of technology to process them. Currently, only PET bottles are recycled efficiently, which means they're recycled into PET bottles yet again. At best, some of our plastic wastes are downcycled or mixed with other materials to form other functional plastic items. It's already hard enough to manage our own waste, so imagine how things get worse when other countries ship theirs from overseas. It's not uncommon for containers misdeclared as recyclable waste from developed countries to be dumped on our island.
It begins with a single step, a single choice, a single voice that says, enough. Let's not just talk about change, let's become it.